Hey there, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel grow. So what is going on when it comes to your May? The theme of this month, well, it's all about blessings, starting off with bangs. And a big part of that has to do with Pluto in Aquarius turning retrograde on May 1st. And so this is a big shift for everybody. We see new blessings coming into our life that are going to war with old problems this month. And there's going to be a focus on clearing of old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures. This is all taking place in your 11th house of friendships, social networking, your biggest, loftiest goals and ambitions, as well as your sense of community and second family. So over the course of this month, it's really important to keep in mind where this is going on and why. And always make sure to ask yourself, where have old entanglements been getting in the way of good opportunities or new blessings that are trying to make room for themselves? We also have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. Remember, a eclipse is just whatever lunation it is exponentially amplified. So this is a full moon on steroids. And a full moon is all about culminations, transitions, and endings. Big moves and big shifts that take some time but are considerable influences for about 90 days, right? A normal full moon takes about 2 weeks to show itself, beginning to end, what it's doing, how it's going to work. A lunar eclipse, it's consistent. And so from about the beginning of May through the beginning of August, this full moon lunar eclipse is going to be hardcore for everybody. This is occurring in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, your self-employment earnings, debts, and even income that you may get from a spouse or a business partner or some kind of working alliance. With a lunar eclipse in this part of your chart, this is a time where a massive clearing is occurring when it comes to old financial business. A lot of you may be clearing a debt, paying off some kind of maybe big investment that you have had. You may be finding out about a partner changing jobs themselves and going through an economic shift that transforms the environment around you, your home, and the space that you share. Business partnerships are also going to be going through big transitions, and with a full moon lunar eclipse, this is also going to be a very hot season, romantically speaking, for all of you. You might be getting a bit wild as we go through May, June, July, and August, because a lot of people that you're sharing those experiences with and yourself are going to be a lot more courageous, a lot more experimental, and a lot more free and vulnerable with themselves, right? A full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio is all about intimacy and getting as intimate as possible. So prepare for a very hot and very wild season on top of also a very financially freeing season. We have Mercury retrograde in Taurus, which is some old business from April, but still in swing all the way up through May 14th. And this is in your 2nd house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And Mercury retrograde is all about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts to this area of your life. There could be a return of old financial opportunities, old money, but also the revision of many contracts, employment agreements, job descriptions. You may be even finding out about some matters from the past that need your attention either to be wrapped up or maybe they are trying to come back to you. After the 14th, Mercury is direct in Taurus for the rest of the month, bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions in your 2nd house of earned income and employment, and you're really speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth in the back half of this month. The sun is in this part of your chart as well through the 21st of May, bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth to your income sector, bringing you new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement. And then after the 21st, we have the sun moving on into Gemini, your third house of communications, your peer groups, anything to do with helpful third parties, contracts, and commitments. And with the sun in the third house, you may be finding that towards the back half of this month and going on into June, a lot of helpful people are looking to show up and hook you up, especially when it comes to bridging gaps that may exist between you and maybe certain projects or certain goals you would like to embark upon completing. We have Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month. This is your fourth house of home and family, your living situation, home economics, your roots. And when we have Mars in the fourth house, there's that focus of high energy and blockbusting and an intense rousing of activity going on here, eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth. Over the course of the first 3 weeks of this month or so, a lot of you Aries people may be finding that a lot of obstacles to maybe having the home that you desire the way you want to have it, or maybe a challenge in a home economic situation, or yes, maybe even some old shadows or old problems from family matters are getting dug up to be addressed. They can't stay buried, repressed, ignored, or whitewashed anymore. Mars here can be really, really good in economic situations, though, especially when it comes to household income as a whole or home-based business operations. But be careful, right? On a more interpersonal level, this could create some fights and arguments when it comes to family members or people that you share your household with, even in-laws to a certain degree, because again, old issues, need to be shook up, to be cleared up. After the 20th of the month, Mars moves on into Leo, which is your fifth house of love, romance, and partnerships as it relates to romantic partnerships exclusively, and your relationships with your kids, recreation, and creative projects and pursuits. And with Mars in your fifth house, this is a time where there's a focus on knocking down walls, especially when it comes to being able to bond more closely, have the stronger friendship element in all of these relationships, whether they are with romantic partners or maybe potential new partners showing up. With Mars being there, that happens a lot. Or maybe even creating stronger friendships with your children, stronger friendships when it comes to creative collaborations, getting yourself out there, as well as overcoming obstacles and blocks that may be keeping certain relationships from realizing maybe their best or becoming their best, or maybe even getting rid of blocks that could be keeping relationships from starting. We have Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month, so just the very beginning. This is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, again, your peer group and helpful third parties. And Venus, of course, is the planet of love, favors, popularity, affection, and gifts that deepen bonds and bring new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And so pay attention to where people are wanting to get more involved in your goings on. See where the help is being offered. Venus in the third house is a great time for matchmaking, any kind of matchmaking, professional matchmaking, social matchmaking, practical matchmaking, love matchmaking, because people want to run that kind of interference on your behalf in the best of ways. After the 7th of the month, you've got Venus moving on into Cancer, that fourth house of home and family, your living situation, home economics. And with Venus here from the 7th through the duration of the month, a lot of you Aries people are going to be finding that your whole home life is getting spruced up. Things are becoming more of a sanctuary at home. We're kind of living it up as far as luxury and more creature comforts are concerned, and there is an opportunity to even bring peace to situations that have been contentious. And some of you may be finding that it's a time to start thinking about how to plant roots or get more established in long-term love relationships, and love may even be found closer to home for those of you looking for new partners, whether it's being introduced through a family member or through the neighborhood, or maybe somebody even moving into the neighborhood. We have Jupiter entering Taurus, your second house of earned income and employment, on the 16th of the month, and this is one of the best moments of the month and going on for the rest of the year, because this is setting you up to be quite wealthy as we go through the rest of 2023. Jupiter is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth itself, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs, bringing opportunities for great achievement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing. And again, this is going to be with you for the rest of the year. Finally, we also have a new moon in Taurus on the 19th of the month, which is all about seed planting and new beginnings and long-term commitments. And this is in that second house of earned income and employment. And you may be finding that between the 19th and the end of week 1 of June, a lot of you are getting a chance to secure yourselves in a new role, a new employment agreement, or possibly some kind of new income avenue that is going to spawn during this period that you really want to keep an open mind with and see what you can work with. So that is what I've got for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. And so what's going on when it comes to your May? I have subtitled this the blessings starting off with bangs kind of month, because that's how it rolls. And a lot of it is due in part to Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. And this is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, promotions, status, station, raises. And when we have Pluto going retrograde, we see new blessings that are coming into our life going to war with old problems. There's a focus on clearing of old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures and breaking old cycles. And as you go through this period of this month, make sure that, when things come up and it looks like it's going that way, you got to ask yourself, where have old entanglements been getting in the way of new blessings? We have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on the 5th. This is your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of your closest one-on-one involvements. And this is all about culminations, transitions, and endings. Now, a full moon lunar eclipse is just a full moon on steroids, so it's way more powerful and its influence lasts for much longer. Instead of a 2-week period like a normal full moon, this is going to be with you through the beginning of August. The full moon lunar eclipse in the 7th house is all about moving paths, changing roads, getting off of a track that we have been on in one or maybe several close one-on-one involvements or arrangements as we go through this next few months. This could be changing the goalpost as far as a relationship is concerned. This could be a transition of status and maybe making something official or moving something up. This could be reevaluating the terms of an existing partnership, alliance, or arrangement, or maybe even moving not just lanes but roads to a completely different end game or destination that everyone is going to need to be ready to adjust for. During this period as well, there may be the closing or ending of some kind of old commitment, old story, or old investment that we have made in a partnership, completely readjusting the terms of how we are going forward. We have Mercury retrograde in Taurus. As we, kind of go into the beginning of the month, right? This is left over from April, and this is in your sign, your first house. So this is just talking about everything to do with your world, right? It's the wild card area of the chart. And with Mercury retrograde in your first house, this is going to hit all areas of your life at once. So we're talking about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts in all kinds of different stories. With Mercury retrograde in the first house, it's a time for us to consider where we can do some reversals or rewinds. Where is it we would like to hit the undo button with certain choices or certain commitments or maybe projects we've embarked upon? Where is it we'd like to bring something back into our world? Where is it that we would like to maybe unsay or unmake when it comes to things that have already happened to us or were brought into our life by other people? After the 14th of the month, we've got Mercury direct in this part of your chart, and now it's time to see where we can speed things up. Mercury direct in your sign is giving you the wildcard blessings of Mercury for rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, all of that good stuff. See what areas of your life have become sluggish. Where is it that you are going to be able to, again, through your own applied free will, speed up developments, whether it's on the job, or it's with travel plans, or a move, or a personal business, a relationship. The sky's the limit when you have a planet in your sign. And that's going to be a theme for the entire back half of May. We've got the sun in your sign through the 21st, bringing attention and enhancement and support and growth to you. Again, all areas of your life at the same time going through this massive adjustment. And you're going to see that all areas of your life at once are being showered with new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement themselves, right? Moving out of old ruts, getting re-equipped with new tools, possibly even new money. After the 21st, it really becomes about money, with the sun moving on into Gemini, your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And with the sun in the second house for the end of May going on into June, you're going to find that a lot of your income streams, as well as even your professional profile, is going through that enhancement, support, growth, and advancement experience. You may be getting more value for what you are bringing to the office, to your role, to your organization, or to your market. And you may be finding you're getting quite popular as well. And new opportunities to score big money, right, quickly, are also going to be quite abundant. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month, and so this is your third house of community, your peer group, pacts, promises, commitments, as well as any kind of communications or contracts you've got going on. And with Mars in the third house for the first 3 weeks or so of the month, this is all about blockbusting, an intense rousing of activity and high energy, eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth to you. So this could be people showing up and helping you fight battles that you've been fighting all by yourself. This could be you getting a chance to maybe clear some roadblocks, open some roads for yourself. This is also a time where you're getting a chance to break or destroy old commitments, old contracts, or old agreements from the past that do not serve or were unfair to you or have kept you bound to a situation, a person, or some kind of involvement that has been nothing but hell or been costing you more now than it used to in the past. And with Mercury retrograde, again, also working for you the first half of the month, you're going to be noticing this is going to be a very easy achievement if you want to go there. After the 20th, Mars moves on into Leo, which is your fourth house of home and family, your living situation, home economics, your roots. And with Mars in the fourth house, all of this is going now to focus on clearing away old problems, old shadows, or obstacles that maybe were put upon us once upon a time, whether it's put upon us as in it runs in the family, maybe some old family issues, maybe old household economic challenges, or maybe we're doing some home repairs, increasing the value of our space. Maybe we are breaking blocks when it comes to some kind of home investment or home-based business operation, and also knocking down walls when it comes to creating a closer sense of unity with family and very close friends. We've got that going on also well into June. We've got Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month, so just the first week of May. And this is that second house of earned income, employment, values, and valuables. And with Venus in Gemini for the first week of the month, you're going to be noticing love, favors, popularity, affection, and commitments coming to you through work that are going to be enhancing your quality of life at work, bringing new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. It makes it easier for us to make money very, very quickly with Venus here. And you may be finding as well that your stock, your reputation is soaring. We've got Venus moving on into Cancer, into that third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, and your peer group as we go on into the latter 3 weeks of the month, right? So pretty much the majority of May and on into June. Venus in the third house is all about getting hooked up, right? We've got matchmaking going on in all capacities and in all corners. Pay attention to who's showing up to help you. Pay attention to who wants to get involved. Of course, be discerning, be smart, don't be naive, but pay attention to what is going on where people are looking to matchmake you with things you desire, matchmaking you with money, professional opportunities, creative opportunities, matchmaking you in love. Because Venus in the third house brings us those that have the hookup, the source, the go-between, who can bridge gaps between us and what we desire. We have Jupiter entering your sign on the 16th of the month, and for the rest of the year, you're going to be enjoying the wildcard blessings of Jupiter, blessing all areas of your life at the same time and bringing you what Jupiter is all about: expansion, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs, which are going to be bringing opportunities for great achievement and advancement that are prosperous, secure, and gifts that keep on giving, not only through the end of this year, but even on into the beginning of 2024. So whatever you want to make stick, make sure you do, because you can. And again, this is with us for the rest of the year. Finally, we also have a new moon in Taurus on May 19th, and this is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments in your sign. It's your once-a-year birthday new moon, right? You get to make a wish and have it come true. Essentially, that's how new moons in your sign work. So pay attention to what you would like to get started, what you would like to plant the seed with, knowing it will manifest within the next 3 to 4 months. What is it you want to start? What is it you would like to create in your life? Again, the sky is the limit. It's in your sign. Do you want a new house? Do you want to expand on your family? Do you want a new job? Do you want a new relationship? Do you want to travel? Go back to school? Whatever it is with the new moon in your sign, make sure you are doing the work, right? Doing the groundwork, putting it in motion, doing your due diligence between the 19th of May and the end of week 1 of June, bringing in some spiritual work if you'd like, right? Apply your energy to it, do your ceremonies, do your prayers, do your spells, whatever you gotta do. Make sure that that is good and solidified, because as we go on into the end of August, you will see this has come true. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what's going on when it comes to May? I've been telling everybody so far, May is all about blessings that start off with bangs. That is just kind of how it goes, right? We've got big seismic shifts, big seismic treasures that are coming our way, but it's turning everyone's world upside down. So make sure that you don't judge things by the delivery as we go through this month. A lot of this is due in part to Pluto turning retrograde on May 1st, and this is happening in Aquarius, which is your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, your reach, your territory, your influence, and your spiritual path and practice. And Pluto turning retrograde here is going to make this month all about ending old cycles, ending old norms, because Pluto retrograde is all about new blessings coming in, whether they've been trying to come in or they're already here or they're just starting up, going to war with old problems, clearing away old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures. And so this can be a bit of a shaky period for some people because we have to learn a lesson that there's only so much reality we can have at one given time. Sometimes we need to make room. And as these things happen and as this goes down, you got to ask yourself, where have old entanglements been getting in the way of new opportunities? Whether it's recently or it's something brand new. We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 6th house of your work, your schedule, the services you offer, what you're known for, as well as the people you serve with and the people that you serve, right? Your reputation, as well as the teams that you're on. And when we have a full moon lunar eclipse in this part of our chart, right, a culmination focus, right, full moons are all about transitions and endings. A lunar eclipse is just a full moon exponentially amplified. We are seeing a huge transition start to occur that will likely finish itself by the time we get to the end of August, because a lunar eclipse has a 3-month window period of influence versus, say, 2 weeks like a normal full moon. With a full moon lunar eclipse in the 6th house, a lot of you are getting a chance to move on up when it comes to your professional profile. A lot of you may be changing teams, changing departments, changing jobs, going through a bit of a transformation as it relates to the populations you serve, what you do for a living. Some of you may be making big moves in that respect. Some of you may be finding that your professional profile is changing in such a way where you are qualified for maybe bigger responsibilities, better pay, and you may be finding also that some major transformations going on in your market or in your field are starting to open up new doors for you. However, a full moon lunar eclipse in the 6th house can also indicate the end of an era as it relates to the way you've been carrying on at the office, with your job, with your teams, but a lot of walls that maybe have been blocking you from the moves you want to make are getting removed. We have Mercury retrograde in Taurus through the 14th of the month, and this is your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone, things going on behind the scenes. And this is left over from April, but a Mercury retrograde transit in any space is all about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts. And in the 12th house, this is all about reversals and rearrangements when it comes to old situations that we are getting new clarity on, whether these are maybe old opportunities or even old problems or old stories. And a lot of you will be revising your path, your commitments, as well as maybe your loyalties to a certain degree, depending on what comes forth here. You're also going to be getting a chance to take advantage of some shortcuts or some secrets that may be getting revealed to you that are relevant to the present and relevant to the past. And there may be some hidden help coming your way from people that are looking to hook you up, but maybe they don't want to be so public about it. After the 14th of the month, we've got Mercury direct in this part of your chart, which is all about rapid developments, accelerated productivity, quick turnarounds, moving up plans, and hopes and aspirations to faster and more successful fruitions. And this is all about catching up for lost time. You're going to be finding that projects, aspirations, dreams, goals, and pursuits that maybe had to wait on a shelf, fell by the wayside, or were blocked in the past are now getting a chance to catch up and get ahead. Whether this has to do with maybe social plans, things going on in your personal life, or maybe even relating to your finances or to something that you would like to change about your life course, the road you're on, or a living situation. Things that were once maybe kicked aside or blocked or even sabotaged are now getting their second win, and most likely winning this time around. And this is a big theme as we go through the back half of the month. We've got the Sun in Taurus, the same area of your chart, through the 21st of the month, bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth to this 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone, things going on behind the scenes. And with the Sun in the 12th house, It's all about a time of revival, resurrection, bringing things back to life, reintroducing things back into your world that maybe tried to come in but were not allowed to come in, or perhaps even challenge a situation that is keeping good out of our world, right? Kind of like Pluto retrograde. This is also a time where you may be finding that things that maybe you had to give up or turn away or sacrifice in the past for whatever reason are getting a chance to also come back into your world and come back to life. So keep an eye out, see what still belongs that hasn't been given a proper space or a proper home in your world. After the 21st, we've got the sun moving on into Gemini, your sign, for the duration of May and going on into June. And you're getting the wildcard blessing of the sun in your first house, which is all about attention, enhancement, support, and growth. But you're going to be finding that this is showering all areas of your life at the same time with new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement and promotion and transition. However it shows up, social, financial, it doesn't matter. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month. This is your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. And this is going to be all about high energy, blockbusting, and an intense rousing of activity for the first 3 weeks of the month or so, eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth. You're breaking glass ceilings when it comes to your earning power. Problematic people, thorns in your side, they're all getting challenged by Mars at this point in time to either straighten up and fly right or get the hell out of your life. This is also a time where you're going to find that locked doors can now be opened as it relates to any kind of professional or financial moves or transitions you've been looking to make. After the 20th of the month, we've got Mars moving on into Leo, which is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, anything to do with helpful third parties in your peer group. And with Mars in the third house, the squad shows up for you because we have people showing up to help us take on things that have been too big for us to do on our own. These will be allies that you know are true blue, as well as even new allies coming in to help you. With Mars in the third house, it's all about getting the competitive advantage of a strong team, helping you to destroy and get rid of things that you have been stuck with or stuck to. And you may also find that, especially as we go through the end of May and on into June, old contracts, entanglements, attachments, and commitments that refuse to let go of you will be thwarted and thrown out by the help of these allies and the power you're putting behind this. We've got Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month. And so just for the first week or so. And Venus is going to be lighting up your first house with the gift of turning you into a bit of a love and affection and favor magnet, right? Venus is all about love, favors, popularity, affection, and you're going to be noticing a lot of areas of your life, not just you, but different spots of your world being showered with all kinds of gifts, commitments, and new enrichment to deepen bonds, as well as, give a new, let's just say, a new spark to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And that's going to be consistent, again, the first week of the month. After the first week of the month is over, though, Venus moves on to bring these blessings to your second house of earned income and employment, joining Mars and putting you in a very, very wealthy way for the entirety of the rest of May. We've got Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th. This is your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone. Once again, right? Anything to do with old business, old connections, old paths, old desires, as well as things going on behind the scenes. And with Jupiter in the 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone, we see Jupiter behaving kind of differently, right? Jupiter is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, and breakthroughs, bringing opportunities for great achievement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing. Well, with Jupiter in the 12th house, you may be finding that you are getting a chance to take something that was forced to stay small in the past and turn it into something quite large, quite lustrous, and quite profitable. And this is also going to be transforming a lot of the landscape of your world, because you are going to have to find a way to commit more intensely this time to whatever this project, pursuit, investment, or connection is. And this is going to be a big theme for the rest of the year. Finally, we have a new moon in Taurus in that 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone on the 19th. And a new moon is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments. Well, in the 2-week window period following the 19th, we do see a treasured passion or project or pursuit or path, something that you really wanted to have for yourself, getting a chance to finally be brought to life or brought back to life. And you want to make sure that you see what's going on here, though, because with this new moon and Jupiter and Taurus at the same time, this is going to be a big break. And it's important to see, well, again, what has been trying to find a home in my world that could be really good for me? Have I been keeping it out? Or has it just been something that has been struggling against environmental influences? Looks like nothing is going to stop this good thing from happening now. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel grow. The month of May, I have decided to sort of subtitle with the month of blessings that start off with bangs. And that is true for everybody. And a lot of this is largely due in part to Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. So this is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, self-employment earnings, supplemental earnings, however those go for you, tips, commissions, sales, incentive programs, bonuses, but also monies that you may share with another person, such as a business partner, an ally, or a spouse. And of course, again, we are talking about intimacy and closeness in relationships. With Pluto turning retrograde, we see new blessings going to war with old problems, meaning that a lot of beautiful new opportunities, new wins, new commitments, new big scores are manifesting in your life, but they are going to war with old business. And there's a focus on eliminating old cycles, clearing old business, and decluttering to make room for these new ventures. And that is huge all throughout the course of this month and even going on into June. So when this occurs for you, really want to pay attention. Where have old attachments been getting in the way of new blessings, right? And where do we need to get to work in working with this and leaning into this, not resisting? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, recreation, as well as your relationships with your kids. And a full moon lunar eclipse is a full moon on steroids, right? A full moon is all about culminations, transitions, and endings. Normally its influence lasts about 2 weeks. With a lunar eclipse, we've got a lot more energy and an influence period that goes all the way up to about the beginning of August for you. With a full moon lunar eclipse in the 5th house, this is a time of a huge story break or a huge era change. Not just closing a chapter, but closing a book and opening up a brand new one. And there is a huge focus on a change of status for you as well. With a full moon lunar eclipse in the 5th house, this can show up in a lot of different ways where we establish a completely new kind of relationship with somebody. Now, this could be a new way of relating to our kids, a new way of connecting to maybe somebody new. This could be the end of a period of being single for those of you who are available to new people. This is also setting a relationship on a different path for those of you who are committed. This is also a time where a lot of you may be finding that there is a huge transition period in some kind of creative or recreational pursuit, or maybe even a creative project or business plan you would like to embark upon during this time, but it will require you, kind of like Pluto, to make some serious room. We've got Mercury retrograde in Taurus through the 14th of the month. This is your 11th house of friendships and social networking. So the guys, the girls, your platonic support system, as well as your loftiest goals, dreams, and ambitions. And as we go through the first half of the month, right, this is a bit left over from April, your 11th house is going to be going through a series of reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts and refreshes in this area of your life. Now, with Mercury retrograde in the 11th house, it's a breeze. It's probably one of the best, if not the best places to have a Mercury retrograde, because it's all about reunions. It's all about getting back in touch. It's all about reconnecting with friends and with allies, as well as even aspects of yourself that still live and breathe within you, giving yourself an opportunity to maybe even call back resources, call back connections, and bring things into your life where you can take a different path to a treasured goal or ambition that you have still long since held on to. With Mercury retrograde in the 11th house, you may also be finding that friends and allies, present and past, are also going to be delivering things from your past that belong to you back to you. We've got Mercury turning direct on the 14th in this part of your chart, and will be here for the rest of the month. Mercury direct in the 11th house is all about rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions. And so with the 11th house being activated, you may be finding a lot of goals that maybe you've set out, a ways, maybe down the road, towards the end of the year, a few years down the road, are getting moved up. They can be realized faster, and that's also coming with the help of your friends, but also coming in because things have changed, things have advanced for you. If you put something down the road in some linear 5-year plan, or you are setting up some kind of, alphabet system, right, ABC, this is going to be accelerating progress with all of that. So be prepared to arrange or rearrange some of your, short to mid-term plans for the rest of this year and next, because everything is going faster for you. We've got the sun in this part of your chart as well through the 21st of the month, bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth to you and all of your closest friendships. And you may be finding that through your sense of community, through your support system, new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement are going to be showered upon you. We have, after the 21st, the sun entering Gemini, your 12th house of your past, privacy and hidden zone, old business, things going on behind the scenes. And with the sun in the 12th house, it is a time of revival. It's a time of resurrection, bringing things back to life. And you may be finding out about some opportunities that are getting illuminated for you that you once left behind or could not give the time, energy, or resources to bringing forth into being, and yet the means, the how, and the when are all being now fixed up for you to do just that between the 21st of May and the end of week 3 of June. How are you going to get it all started again and get that ball rolling? We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month, and this is your second house. I'm sorry, your sign. I'm looking ahead, back to the present. I was looking ahead at the next thing. Mars is in Cancer, your sign, your first house, through the 20th of the month, giving you the wild card blessings of Mars, which is all about high energy, block busting, and an intense rousing of activity, eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and competitive opportunities for growth to you. When we have Mars in our sign, right, the wild card blessing of any given celestial body is basically letting us do this and experience this in all other areas of our chart at once. Where is it that you would like to knock down some walls, overcome some resistance somewhere, whether it's within yourself, something that you are committed to, or a big shift or a big life direction change you've been trying to make in your life. This can also go into eliminating and purging old shadows or things that have followed you into this month that you want to be able to finally clear the cords with, right? Eliminate those attachments and entanglements. Any kind of bad guys, thorns in your side, or ghosts from the past are coming up to be eliminated in the first 3 weeks of this month. After the 20th, we've got Mars moving on into Leo, your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables. Now we're here. This is what I was looking ahead at. And with Mars in your second house for the end of the month and going well on through June, you're going to be going into overtime mode. A lot of you Cancerian people are going to be raking it in, financially speaking, because Mars in the second house puts us in a situation where we are working many, many more hours, making a lot more sales, and raking in a lot of dough. But we may need to be careful when it comes to balancing the work-life balance itself, because work can get very, very demanding, very lucrative, but very demanding during this period. And you'll be breaking a fair amount of glass ceilings as you go through this yourself. We have Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month, so just the first week of the month or so, in that 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone. And with Venus in the 12th house, bringing love, favors, popularity, affection, and gifts, you're going to find that Venus in the 12th house is bringing opportunities to explore or revisit old love languages and old romantic pastimes with partners, right? Kind of bringing back things that used to bring us a lot of pleasure, a lot of joy, going down memory lane, maybe things that we wish we never moved on from, or things that why did we quit doing that? Why did we let that go? Why did we not go there anymore? Or why did we, make that bounce? Let's see what we can do to reintegrate that. We've also got Venus bringing opportunities for new love for those of you who are available to new people, either out of the past or out of secret or hidden spaces. Venus in the 12th house can sometimes show up where, we find out where somebody has been carrying a torch for us or had once upon a time. Or we may be finding out about an opportunity for love through somebody that we have known for a long time, right? Oh my gosh, it's the best friend's cousin, or it's the neighbor's, friend, or whatever is going on there. Venus is kind of hooking up love through roundabout ways. And this is going to bring in a lot of new opportunities for new commitments and new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections as well. After the 7th, Venus moves on into your sign, and you are a love and affection magnet. So be prepared, after the 7th of the month, we've got all of that focus of favors and popularity being given to you freely from all different corners of your life at once. Use it well and make sure you know how to show and demonstrate gratitude and appreciation in action, not just esteem. We have Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th. Which is your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And Jupiter is going to be here for the rest of the year. And this is one of the luckiest places that you can have Jupiter, because things seem to start taking care of themselves when Jupiter is in the 11th house. And the world really does open up to us. I had Jupiter in my 11th house back in 2014, 2015, where I was, if for those of you who remember or were following me back then, when I was, starting to do retreats, and I was, going all over the country and, meeting people abroad and all kinds of fun stuff. And you are going to have an opportunity for that very same kind of experience as we go through the rest of 2023. Jupiter is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs, bringing opportunities for great achievements that are prosperous, secure, and advancing. And again, it's not just for May, it's for the rest of the year and even going on into 2024. Finally, we also have a new moon in Taurus on May 19th, which is all about seed planting, new beginnings, as well as new long-term commitments. And this is all about new community, new friendships, new strong bonds that are going to most likely be lifelong, starting to get their glue set as we go through the back end of this month and on into the first week or so of June. A new moon in the 11th house can bring in new allies, new friends, coalesce a new group or community around you, a new sense of home in the world, but also at the same time, even strong new collaborators that become pretty much part of the family as far as you're concerned. So that is what I've got for you, Cancerian people. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel grow. So what is going on when it comes to your May? I've been telling everybody, May is the month of blessings that start off with bangs in all respects. And a lot of that is due in part to Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. This is your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. So your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, allies, all of your closest one-on-one connections and affiliations. When we have Pluto turn retrograde, you notice that there is an influx of all kinds of new blessings and new opportunities, but they are going to war with old problems or old issues where we may have let sleeping dogs lie. And over the course of a Pluto retrograde transit, it's all about breaking cycles, clearing old business, and decluttering to make room for these new ventures. And so there can be some clashes, especially when it comes to maybe advancing partnerships or changing statuses or moving things forward, because again, all of the good new stuff is going to war with bad old stuff. And as this plays out, you might want to ask yourself every once in a while, where have old entanglements been holding me back or getting in the way? And what do I do about them now? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 4th house of home and family, right? The domicile, your living situation, the past as far as it relates to your roots and family matters, home economics. And when we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the 4th house, it's all about ending a chapter, ending a story, right? Full moons are all about culminations, transitions, and endings anyway. But when you have a lunar eclipse, now we're talking about it being exponentially amplified. It's a full moon on steroids. And its influence period also expands, right? Instead of just being a 2-week window period like a normal full moon, we're looking at about 3 months. And so this is going to be a consistent influence all the way up through the beginning of August. With a full moon lunar eclipse in the 4th house, it's about getting on the move. Some of you may be physically relocating or finding an opportunity to physically relocate. So for those of you who are house hunters, want to, start to establish yourself or your family in a new territory or in a new space, you're going to get a chance to do that. But a lunar eclipse can also indicate the purging of something big and old from your life as it relates to a household financial matter, a household matter, or a family matter. This can also indicate the end of an era as it relates to a way of going about maybe carrying on certain family matters, as well as even eliminating old problems as it relates to things that were once passed down, long-standing family narratives, and things like that. Just be careful with the full moon in general, but especially with the lunar eclipse in the 4th house. Sometimes it can create a lot of conflicts or rifts. That's something that can happen with that much high energy. And, sometimes family members and other people do not handle intense astrology with grace and dignity. So you want to make sure that you are staying productive, right? Aiming forward, but also at the same time, just be a little bit prepared. When it comes to Mercury's retrograde, because we have Mercury retrograde left over from April through the 14th, Mercury is retrograde in Taurus, which is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And with Mercury retrograde here through the first half of the month, we've got the focus on reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts involving this area of your life. And you may be finding out about old opportunities to take on promotions, take on big roles, promote yourself, recover old money or old opportunities from the past that either you got passed over for, or that you missed, or you weren't available for. However, your professional direction or your professional future is also going to be going through a bit of review and revision as well. And this could be something that's going on with the market, your workspace, or maybe you getting a chance to change lanes and change roads if you want to. After the 14th, we've got Mercury direct in Taurus for the duration of the month, bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds. And so a lot of work investments, a lot of growth opportunities are going to be getting moved up during this time to faster, more successful fruitions, speeding up the rate with which you are climbing the professional ladder, making a bigger name for yourself, and raking in money. We've got the sun in this part of your chart through the 21st of the month. And so we are seeing a huge focus on attention, enhancement, support, and growth in your 10th house as well. And you're going to find your career sector is getting, well, souped up with a lot of new upgrades, resources, updates, and opportunities for advancement as well. So your whole world when it comes to your career, how you're making a name for yourself, is getting completely transformed just in the first 3 weeks of this month alone. After the 21st, we've got the sun moving on into Gemini, which is your 11th house of friendships and social networking. Anything to do with the guys, the girls, community, your support systems, as well as your loftiest goals and ambitions. And when we have the sun here, this is a time where that attention, enhancement, support, and growth is bringing you closer to the closest people that you have, as well as transforming the landscape of your support system in such a way where you are getting a sense of tribe, a sense of second family in a much more deep and intimate and proven way. You are also going to find that with the sun in the 11th house, you are going to be getting a chance to even heal friendships or connections that maybe got distanced in some way. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a rift or anything negative going on or any drama going on. We could have just grown apart. We could have just had circumstances, put us in different spaces, and all of a sudden things became distant. But in the back end of this month, we have a chance to fix all that. And that's also going to be a theme of June as well. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month. This is your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone. Anything relating to old business and things going on behind the scenes. And with Mars in the 12th house, there's this focus on high energy, blockbusting, and an intense rousing of activity that's here to eliminate obstacles, problem elements, and bring competitive opportunities for growth to you. When we translate that through the filter of the 12th house, now we are looking at facing issues from the past, very much kind of like Pluto retrograde. But this is all about getting rid of things that have been outstanding that you may have been trying to live with, trying to make work, trying to make okay, or ignore. With Mars in the 12th house, however, you don't want to do that. You just want to take up this cup and charge into it, right? See what we can do, because this can also be a time for getting rid of problems or issues that have followed you from the past that refuse to go away themselves. However they refuse to go away. Maybe other people were propping them up. Maybe they are other people. But Mars in the 12th house is going to also be supporting you with this, because Mars in the 12th house is also going to be bringing back allies and champions to support you from your past. After the 20th of the month, we have Mars moving on into Leo, your sign, where he's going to be for the duration of this month and well on through June. And Mars in your sign is giving you the wild card blessings of Mars. What is it you would like to start going to town on when it comes to eliminating obstacles in any area of your life in general, right? When we have a celestial body in the first house, all other houses of our chart turn on. So that focus on eliminating obstacles and problem elements, bringing competitive opportunities for growth, it's going to be everywhere. And again, not just the end of this month, but also in June. We've got Venus in Gemini, your 11th house of friendships and social networking through the 7th of the month, bringing love, favors, popularity, affection, gifts, and deepening of bonds and commitments through your 11th house of friendships and social networking. This is a time where your love life is becoming a lot more outgoing and a lot more socially involved. A lot of new sparks of creativity and bonding opportunities, adventures and excursions are going to be put on the table, and also growing a stronger support system for your love life or for your relationship, right? It's not just a village that it takes to raise a child, it also takes a village to support a relationship. In a lot of respects, this is going to work on just that. And for those of you who are available to new people, looking for new love, it may be through your friendship circles that you find a new love opportunity. After the 7th, Venus moves on into Cancer, into your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone. And this is going to be all about you getting a chance to bring back old relationship passions, old relationship pastimes, old loves from the past. If you're in a relationship right now, this could be you and a partner deciding to bring back something that really used to stimulate not only the more erotic and sensual side of our relationship, but also more play, more fun, and more enjoyment and luxury in our lives, right? Bringing something back that really used to do it for us. Old pleasures, old love languages, old adventures, or maybe things that we wish we never walked away from, or things we wish we never had to give up. Get a chance to come back. And for those of you who are available to new people, you may be finding out about new love opportunities through people from the past, right? So old friends, right? This could be the old neighbor's cousin. This could be the old coworker's, brother or sister, or whatever is going on there. What's happening here is old links, old hookups from behind the scenes are coming as gifts to you when it comes to finding new love. We have Jupiter entering Taurus on the 16th of the month, which is huge for all of you. Pay attention, because this is that 10th house of career and upward mobility. And you know me, I don't like to get sensational. I don't do the drama for money thing when it comes to astrology, but this is huge. With Jupiter in your 10th house, you're going to find that this year, starting the 16th of May and going well up into actually the beginnings of 2024, you are going to be striking gold when it comes to being able to accumulate vast amounts of wealth and jump status, jump a tax bracket even, because that's often what happens when we have Jupiter in our 10th house. Jupiter is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs, and bringing opportunities for great achievement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing. And when we have Jupiter in the 10th house, everything seems to just boom for us in the best ways possible. You're going to find that you are first in line to maybe have a bit of a boost to your personal fame or your earning power, rise up to a new position that's developing as a company or your field, or the market expands, or maybe even get a chance to make some kind of big score with something quite cutting edge. Finally, we also have a new moon in this area of your chart on the 19th, which is all about seed planting, new beginnings, as well as new long-term commitments. And this is going to open up a 2-week window period between the 19th of May and the end of week 1 of June, where a lot of you Leo people are going to get a chance to take on some kind of new position, new service, or some kind of new professional commitment that is going to promote you. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. And just a quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps the channel grow. So what's going on when it comes to your month? Well, the month of May I have kind of subtitled as the month of blessings that start off with bangs. And that is consistent for everybody. And a lot of that is due in part to Pluto turning retrograde on May 1st in Aquarius. This is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, anything relating to the teams that you're on, the services you provide, and the populations that you serve. And with Pluto turning retrograde, we've got an interesting clash going on that we need to participate in for our own good. Pluto retrograde potentially blings, but certainly brings new blessings into our world. It really does. We see this shift where new blessings and recent blessings are going to war with old problems. And so when we look at Pluto retrograde, it's all about really getting down to business in breaking old cycles, right? Clearing old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures that are trying to get established in our life, whether they are brand new or again recent within the last, couple of years or so. Pay close attention to when these clashes occur, when the new blessings and new opportunities go to war with old problems, right? Things that have already been problems. And when it shows up, ask yourself, well, where have old entanglements been getting in the way? And what do I need to do about it right now, right? This is all about getting things in proper alignment and in good form in order for these blessings to finally have a home with you. We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th, which is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, your peer group, as well as helpful third parties. And full moon lunar eclipse is a full moon on steroids, right? A full moon is all about culminations, transitions, and endings. Well, a full moon in the 3rd house is going to have its influence and its power exponentially amplified. And with this going on in the 3rd house, this is going to be a huge purge for a lot of you, especially when it comes to old contracts, limitations, commitments, blocks, or containments that have been imposed upon you in writing, whether they are entanglements with certain projects, other people, or maybe things that even bind you or tie you to a certain situation or space that you have been looking to escape and finally move on from. This is also going to present help from third parties that know how to get the job done and get the job done quickly. For those of you that will need the help, that will be there. And some of this can also just show an end to a lot of such entanglements, contracts, and commitments that is consistent and made solid throughout the course of the following 90 days. And so, starting this influence on the 5th of May, but continuing its enforcement and reinforcement through the beginning of August. We've got Mercury retrograde for the first half of the month in Taurus. This is your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, and your spiritual path and practice, your reach, and your influence. When we have Mercury retrograde in the 9th house, this is all about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts involving this area of your life. What needs to get renegotiated? Where are some things that we can even do some reversals to undo challenges that came up in the past, or things that were maybe brought forth into being that should not have been brought forth into being in these areas of your life? Are there contracts or agreements or decisions or judgments that need to be reversed? Are there moves or actions that you once took that you would like to reverse? You are also going to find that old opportunities that maybe you wish you could still engage in from the past as it relates to maybe travel, or maybe expanding your influence or your spiritual path and practice, your reach, or any kind of long-term commitments for your own security, your own wealth and abundance are also going to be coming back to you at the same time through this area. After the 14th, Mercury is direct in this part of your chart for the duration of May, bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds to you, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions. What needs to get the lead out? Now that we have kind of taken care of all this old business, what is ready to get the jet fuel? What is ready to take off? What is ready to finally come forth into being more quickly than maybe we would have slated for ourselves? We've got the sun in this part of your chart as well through the 21st of the month, bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth, bringing you new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement through all of your connections and ties and projects and to-dos here. And you may be finding that with the sun in the 9th house, this is a time where you're also going to be experiencing a bit of a fame moment, right? This is the area of influence, or being a bigger influencer, if you want to look at it that way. And you may be finding that your name is on everybody's lips, whether it's at work or it's not at work. If you're looking to market something, popularize it yourself, something that's really important to you, you're looking to get yourself out there, out of your bubble, see the world. This is all happening for you and getting this going in a way where it can stick beyond just the month of May. After the 21st, we've got the sun moving on into Gemini, which is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, your status, your station, promotions, anything relating to you getting a chance to climb the ladder professionally and financially. With the sun in the 10th house towards the back end of the month, you're going to be noticing opportunities to advance yourself, right? Attention, enhancement, support, and growth. It's going to be changing the very atmosphere of your workspace or your market or the field that you're working in. Those resources, updates, and upgrades are going to be not only generating new liquidity, but maybe even changing your status, your business profile. And promotions will be on the table for you as well as we go on into the beginning of June. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month, and this is going to be your 11th house of friendships and social networking, the guys, the gals, you know, your platonic support system, as well as your loftiest goals and ambitions. And with Mars in the 11th house, this can be a time where the good gets better and the bad gets worse. And there's a lot of work getting done to make sure that your social life and the people you have around you are the best of the best in the true blue. With Mars in the 11th house, we see high energy and blockbusting and that intense rousing of activity go forth to bring you closer to the best allies possible, getting rid of things that are keeping you from maybe being able to work with or spend time with the best friends that you have, as well as creating a stronger community, pulling everyone tighter, and also helping everybody to achieve not only their personal goals and ambitions, but any kind of shared goals or ambitions that you may have with other people, collaborators, buddies, family members, business partners, it doesn't matter. And Mars brings in the money and the tools to make it so as well. However, with Mars in the 11th house, you're also going to notice some social pruning going on. Mars doesn't like plastic people. Mars doesn't like plastic relationships. Mars doesn't like personas. And you may be finding that there may be some rats getting flushed out of your social life this month as well as fake friendships or superficial or shallow relationships getting put under some intense pressure to either become something of value or get the hell out. After the 20th of the month, we've got Mars moving on into Leo, your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone, anything to do with matters going on behind the scenes. And with Mars in the 12th house at the end of the month and going on well into June, this is a time where you are getting a chance to completely eliminate problems that have seemed to just follow you month to month, year to year. Mars in the 12th house it's a once in a 2-year transit that allows us to make a huge clean slate break with our lives, especially when it comes to old problems that may tie us to old situations, old people, and old spaces. This is also a time where old help, trustworthy allies, friends, collaborators, and partnerships from the past are also going to be brought back on the table for you to enjoy and reconnect to. We have Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month, that 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, and promotions. And with Venus in the 10th house, not only are you finding that your earning power is going through a big increase, but you're being showered with love, favors, popularity, and affection, which are going to be gifts to help you carry and propel and propagate yourself. People are giving freely to you opportunities that you thought you'd have to work extra hard for, money you thought you'd have to work extra hard for, and there is a new enrichment being brought to your most treasured pursuits and connections. After the 7th, Venus moves on into Cancer, which is your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And Venus is going to be here through the end of the month and going on into the beginning of June. Venus in the 11th house is about bringing adventure, bringing fun, pleasure, and luxury into our social life and into our love life at the same time. You may be finding that for those of you who are in relationships, you are getting a chance to bring in all kinds of new sparks, inspiration, and stimulation into your love life through adventures, expanding on a social support system for the relationship itself, getting yourself out there. It's going to be a very extroverted time, and those of us who are not very extroverted want to be adaptable, right? It's our responsibility to be adaptable because there are blessings to be claimed here. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, this is going to be a time where it's through a friendship group or friendship connection that love will also be brought into your world. So make sure you are, again, staying in circulation. We've got Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th, which is a big transition for everybody. I'm going to do a special video about that as we get closer to the date in question. Jupiter is, again, moving into that 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, your reach, influence, and expansion and territory. When Jupiter is in the 9th house, we become a powerhouse when it comes to not only our influence, but we do become a lot more prominent when it comes to our own community, as well as what is going on in the business world, our spiritual life, our world abroad. Jupiter in the 9th house is all about getting us out there to see the world and helping us prosper in ways that help us achieve a new level of prominence in all areas of our life at the same time. Jupiter in the 9th house is brilliant because, well, Jupiter itself is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, breakthroughs, and opportunities for great achievement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing, and gifts that keep on giving. And this is going to be something that does require you, Virgo people, to be ready to get out of your comfort zones a lot. You can go back every once in a while, but don't stay there for too long, because with Jupiter in the 9th house, you may be finding everything around you is becoming bigger, more substantial, more profitable, maybe a little bit more demanding, but all the more fulfilling and lucrative and gainful in every way possible. Socially, financially, romantically, spiritually, the sky's the limit. And this is not just for May. This is for the rest of this year and even going on into the beginning of 2024. Finally, we've got a new moon in this part of your chart on the 19th as well, which is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and long-term commitments that are getting a chance to get their start in the 2 weeks following the 19th, so going up until about the end of week 1 of June. A new moon in the 9th house is all about some kind of new asset, some kind of new ally, some new help, or some kind of big break that you are getting that is helping you make a whole new name for yourself. This could be opening up a new world for you to explore, an extra dimension as it relates to maybe your professional profile or your social life. Some of you may be finding that this is giving you an opportunity to move or to travel, as well as also create some very strong, very secure, and very long-lasting bonds with allies abroad and out of your space, and expanding your territory, your power, and your influence that way. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your May? Well, May is a month that I have described as a month of blessings that start off with bangs, and that is across the board for every single sign. A big part of this is because of Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. This is your 5th house of romance, recreation, creativity, as well as your relationships with your kids. And we've got Pluto retrograde here all month long and even a great deal of June. Pluto retrograde is all about facing and clearing old cycles because new blessings are coming in, right? New good things are coming in, but going to war with old problems. Getting rid of things that need to go so that they can actually stick and stay. This is a clearing of old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures and new blessings as well. But sometimes Pluto can create clashes, but that old stuff or that old business or these old vicious cycles are not allowed to stay. There is no way to make them pass for okay. And sometimes we all need to go through a period of massive decluttering, right? Going to see where the new blessings are going to war with old problems that need to be solved and taking the side of the new blessings that are showing up. So as this goes forward this month, remember to always ask yourself, where have old entanglements been getting in the way the whole time? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 2nd house of earned income, as well as employment, your job, anything to do with your resources and personal securities. When we have a full moon lunar eclipse, it's still all about culminations, transitions, and endings, right? Full moons, that's what they're all about. An eclipse is all about a full moon being amplified, right? Kind of getting put on steroids. And instead of having a 2-week window period like a normal full moon, this is going to be a full moon that has its influence last all the way up until the very beginning of August of this year. And when we have a full moon lunar eclipse in the 2nd house, there are big transitions that get underway. Big moves that take you out of stuck spaces. Now, a lot of you may be changing jobs over the course of the next 3 months, or if not changing employers, maybe changing roles, changing positions, going through shifts where you are getting set up for a new kind of success, but having to turn a page with that. This is also a time where a lot of you may be purging some old financial blocks or overcoming some old financial or professional walls that have been put in front of you. Some of you may also find that yes, this can stir up some calamities as far as things at the office, as matters at the office go, but it's all about getting rid of old structures that are keeping you in the past. When it comes to Mercury retrograde, right, following us into May from April, Mercury is still retrograde in Taurus through the 14th of the month. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, intimacy, self-employment earnings, as well as monies you may have tied up with other people or share with other people, such as romantic partners, spouses, or business partners and allies. When we have Mercury retrograde, it's one of the best places to have it when it's in the 8th house, honestly, because it's more about you collecting, right? It's time to pay the piper. Mercury retrograde is all about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts in this area of your life for the good. This can be a time where a lot of things that belong to you, that should be with you, are being brought back into your world, even from faraway places or far off times. And things that exist in your life that don't belong to you, that never belonged in your life or never belonged in your space, are getting pushed back and given back to where they truly belong. After the 14th, we've got Mercury turning direct in Taurus. Again, that 8th house, and going to stay here for the rest of the month, bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions. And this is speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth in all of these areas of your life. Investments, side incomes, personal businesses, personal enterprises, even good news as far as spousal income is concerned, or business partner developments are concerned. Everything is setting up for you for a very nice and surprising bonus as we go through the back end of May. We have the sun in this part of your chart as well through the 21st, bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth here. And when it comes to the 8th house, right, we're talking about all of this extra money, things that come to you outside of a regular salary or hourly income. You're going to be noticing all kinds of new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement here, bringing even more money through familiar channels or, roads of income avenues that you thought were kind of limited, right? We're widening income avenues, and money's going to be coming to you from all kinds of different spaces. After the 21st, the sun moves on into Gemini, which is your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, your reach, territory, influence, and your spiritual path and practice. And with the sun here, that attention, enhancement, support, and growth is really getting you out of your bubble, whether it's you've been trying to get on the move, maybe you're trying to promote or market yourself, make a new name for yourself, popularize something that matters to you, do some traveling, do some transferring, and even transform all kinds of different rules or regulations that maybe you or your profession or your field have been operating under in a way that sets you up for a new kind of success. And that's going to be a big theme all the way up until the end of week 3 of June. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month, and this is all about your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, anything relating to you getting more raises. And with Mars in the 10th house, it's a time of high energy, blockbusting, and an intense rousing of activity, right? Eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth. Now, with Mars in an income area like this, it's important to keep in mind that, we can sometimes be put in for a bit of overtime. Mars brings in a lot of wealth, but through a lot of labor. So make sure you're keeping an eye on your work-life balance. After the 20th, Mars moves on into Leo, which is your 11th house of friendships and social networking, right? Your platonic support system, the guys, the gals, as well as your, I guess you could say, your loftiest personal goals and ambitions to achieve in this life. Mars is going to be helping you knock down walls and obstacles and open roads to achieve those goals with the help of your friends. People are really showing up for you at this time. This is also going to be a period where you're noticing that you are getting a much more strong core group of besties, right, to kind of help you take on anything and go anywhere and be everywhere with you, right? We're assembling the dream team, the perfect squad. However, Mars is also going to be challenging the fake, the superficial, and the plastic. Mars doesn't do shallow relationships. Mars doesn't do personas. Mars doesn't do compartmentalized personalities. And so you may be finding that people who've been fake or people who have been faking everything all along are going to be flushed out as well. And that's also a big theme of June. We've got Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month. Love and romance is going to be quite adventurous, really getting out there this month, especially in the beginning. Because with Venus in the 9th house, it's all about getting experimental. It's all about going to bold new places in love, exploring foreign territory, bringing in new activities, and even having a bit of a spiritual awakening as it relates to love and romance and our philosophy around our relationships with our partner. If you are single or available to new people, you may be meeting somebody from a different background or a different culture than yours, or you may be getting a chance to connect with somebody that you are very much compatible with, but may not be a type that you have explored relationships with, right? We all have many different types in our astrology chart, believe it or not. Most people have 3, some people have upwards of 5, and a lot of people just kind of get stuck on 1 or 2. So there may be an interesting surprise for you single Librans out there. And for those of you who are coupled or are in a relationship or are married, you may be finding a partner is starting to embody some much more bold, adventurous, and experimental sensibilities themselves. After the 7th, Venus moves on into Cancer, into your 10th house, and this is going to bring the planet of love, favors, popularity, and affection full strength into your career sector. And you're going to be finding that you're going to be getting a lot of gifts coming in through your 10th house. So it's going to be easier to make money. You're going to be finding that there's all kinds of new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections at work. And those gifts themselves could also be gifts that keep on giving, especially when it comes to hookups that you're going to be getting on the job to help propel you and promote you. And that's a huge theme all the way up until the beginning of June. We got Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th, which is going to be, of course, that 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and self-employment earnings, and, you know, shared any kind of monies you've got with partners of any kind. This is going to be the beginning of a year of great wealth and great pleasure for you, because Jupiter is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs. And you're going to find that, you know, when it comes to, say, love and romance, Jupiter in the 8th house is all about bringing in a complete refresh in your love life, right? Whether you have been married for 30 years or you are looking for new love, Jupiter is bringing in a year-long honeymoon experience for all of you to affirm and explore that love. This is also a time where you're going to find that, yes, opportunities for great achievement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing are coming to you in all kinds of different ways, both financially as well as any kind of personal enterprise or talent you'd like to monetize or explore. If you've been looking to maybe grow a business or start a business of your own, Jupiter in the 8th house is a great time to do that as well. And we're going to be seeing this for the rest of the year and well into 2024. Finally, we also have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 19th, which is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments. And in the 2-week window period between the 19th of May and the end of week 1 of June, a lot of you Libra people are going to be in for some kind of bonus, as we mentioned earlier in this video, where you might be getting a bonus sum of money to invest in something that you really care about, or possibly a new income avenue tacking on to something that you already have, a bonus in that respect. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel grow. And so what is going on when it comes to your month of May? I've been telling everybody May is a month of blessings that start off with bangs. And this is especially true for you because we have your ruling planet, Pluto, turning retrograde on May 1st in Aquarius. This is your 4th house of home and family, the domicile, your living situation, anything to do with household economy and your roots. And with Pluto going retrograde, where he's going to be retrograde here all month long and well into June, we've got this focus on elimination of old cycles because new blessings are going to be coming into this part of your life, but going to war with old problems or maybe problematic elements that have been there for some time. This is all about clearing away old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures that are already here. And what I always tell clients when I am reading for them about Pluto retrograde is that, look, you have to take the side of the good that's coming to you as it's chasing away the bad that's been holding you back. Sometimes this can be a challenge for people because there could be some nostalgic attachments to things that people know are issues. They know they're problematic. They know they can't be fixed, but they won't let them go. But Pluto retrograde teaches us there's only so much reality we can have at any given time. And so ask yourself, as you go through this, as we all will, in our own way, where have old entanglements been getting in the way? We have a full moon lunar eclipse in your sign on the 5th of the month. A full moon lunar eclipse, of course, is still all about culminations, transitions, and endings, as a regular full moon is, but it's exponentially amplified, right? This is a full moon on steroids, and this is all about you. This is your once-a-year clearing moon, and it just happens to be all the more intense. Whenever we have a full moon or a full moon lunar eclipse in our sign, we get a chance to make a massive purge, kind of institute our own Armageddon in our lives wherever we are looking to make the biggest break possible. And over the course of this next 3 months, this full moon is transforming everything, right? Because a full moon that is normal is going to only last 2 weeks in its influence, but a full moon lunar eclipse like this is 3 months long. So from the beginning of May all the way up to the beginning of August, really think about what you are looking to quit, what you're looking to purge, banish, release, or eliminate from your life. Any area of your chart, many areas of your life, can go to work in this way for you, or get this work underway for themselves, I guess I should say, to be more specific. Because with a full moon lunar eclipse, it's about you doing the punctuating. What is it you do want to release from your existence, never to have to deal with again? When it comes to Mercury retrograde, right? We had Mercury turn retrograde in April, and Mercury is still retrograde as we go on into June, up through the 14th. Well, this is in Taurus, your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. So your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, and roommate, all the people you have your closest one-on-one involvements with. With Mercury retrograde, the focus is always on reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts involving this area of your life. Mercury retrograde in the 7th house can be beautiful, especially if there are certain things we would like to start over or bring back to life. Maybe there's something you and a romantic partner or a spouse would like to do again, or to reintroduce into your relationship, into your marriage, or into your family. Maybe there are some things that we'd like to reverse or rearrange as far as what we have taken on so far to set ourselves free from. Maybe it's not necessarily something that is served. The same thing can apply to business partnerships. For those of you who are looking for new partnerships, whatever kind of new partnerships, you may be finding out about old missed opportunities in the past that are now having a chance to be revisited. Whether this is something going on in love or going on in business, Mercury retrograde is giving you clarity as to where something could have happened, but, maybe it didn't for whatever reason. And for those of you who are in established partnerships, this can also show you where maybe roads that we could have taken sooner in the past can still be taken now when it comes to advancing our love, advancing our business alliance, whatever kind of partnership you have. We have Mercury turning direct here on the 14th, bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans and hopes and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions. Now, with Mercury direct in the 7th house, this is all about attaining a goal ahead of time that you have shared with a partner, or speeding up developments in a partnership or a growing alliance or romantic coupling. This can be a time where you're finding that, we are speeding things along. Something that we had set as a goal for ourselves can be moved up, or you may be finding that a relationship that is relatively new is starting to evolve much more quickly, but more soundly as well. Not like a manic crazy dash, but something that's still organized and secure. And you may also find that this is going to be shifting maybe the long-term direction of a story, investment, or a plan that you have with a partner to something that is more efficient and can be realized more quickly. We have the sun in this part of your chart through the 21st, which is all about bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth to all partnerships in your life, bringing in new levity, joy, recreation, and fun. And you're also going to find that you and your partners, or partner-to-be, are also going to find that new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement are being showered upon each and all of you, completely changing the quality of life of these partnerships. After the 21st, we've got the Sun entering Gemini, which is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and self-employment earnings. And this is going to be a time where a lot of you are going to get a chance to see some kind of private income avenue, whether it is, again, a supplement kind of program like incentives, bonuses, commissions, tips, or sales, a personal business, or maybe something going on in a partner's economic situation, romantic or business, is starting to really pick up in terms of what it is paying out. And then you are also going to find that there is going to be something evolving that income stream to make it more consistent and more profitable even further down the road as we get into June. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month, and this is your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your spiritual path and practice, your reach, and your influence. And with Mars in the 9th house, this is all about getting you out there by destroying the walls of the box you've been trapped in. Whether this is a box you've painted yourself into as far as your own social life, your spiritual life, or maybe business, your career, your education, or this is something that's been imposed on you by external forces. Mars is helping to lift you up and out of some kind of containment. This can also be a time for elimination of old contracts, agreements, or binding commitments that have been keeping you stuck in a certain space or in a certain time of your life. You're also going to find that Mars is bringing in a lot of friends closer to you to help eliminate obstacles, problem elements, and bring competitive opportunities for growth for you in all areas of your life at the same time. After the 20th, Mars moves on into Leo, which is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, anything to do with raises. And Mars in the 10th house is going to be bringing a lot of money your way, but you are going to be working round the clock if you're not careful. Mars always does that. Mars always brings lots of liquidity, but lots of expectations of labor on your part. You're also going to be finding that Mars is going to be knocking down some glass ceilings or any kind of limitations imposed on you as it relates to climbing any professional or financial ladders you have been trying to climb. And that's not just for the end of this month, that's going on into June. We've got Venus in Gemini, your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, and intimacy, and all that good stuff through the 7th. And we're carrying on that theme of getting a bit more wild, a bit more rambunctious in love up until about the end of week 1 of May. And a lot of you are going to find that you're getting a chance to explore new levels and depths of vulnerability and intimacy and erotic satisfaction with a partner, whether you are in a relationship, or you're married, or you're attracting a new partner into your life, for those of you single and available, to do just that with. However, after the 7th, Venus moves on into Cancer, into your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, culture, all of that good stuff, your spiritual path and practice, reach and territory. And love gets adventurous in a different way. It's time to be more explorative. It's time to be more experimental. It's time to think outside the box. Partners are going to be going through some powerful personal and spiritual awakenings at this time. You're going to be finding that they're maybe even getting in touch with aspects of themselves that have been either repressed or suppressed or compartmentalized for a very long time. It can feel like you're actually with a brand new person, bringing a different kind of spark into the relationship. And for those of you who are single or available, you may be meeting somebody that is from a background that is very different than the one that you were raised up in. And so you might be connecting with somebody that you're very compatible with and is a type of yours, but a type you've not had a chance to try things out with. We have way more than just one type in our astrology chart. Some people just stop at one. A lot of the times people, end up realizing, oh, wow, I have like three types of people I'm compatible with in my chart. Some people have 5, and you're getting a chance to mix it up. We've got Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th. That's your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections, boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, and roommate. And with the 7th house being activated by Jupiter for the rest of this year, and even going on into 2024, it's time for some serious evolution in all one-on-one connections and relationships. Jupiter in the 7th house is one of those quintessential traditional areas where astrologers will go, yeah, if a long-term relationship is likely to finally jump into a place of maybe getting engaged or married or expanding on the family, even having children during this period. And a lot of you Scorpio people that are ready for that are going to be having that experience finally start to manifest and physicalize as we go through the rest of this year. This is also a time where those of you who are maybe looking for a relationship like that are going to be drawing in partners that want the very same thing. And for business and partnerships that have already, achieved maybe a marital status that they desire or have kids, they've been there, done that. This is a time where Jupiter's focus on expansion, upward mobility, novelty, wealth, joy, breakthroughs, and opportunities for achievement is taking the entire coupling sky high. Business relationships, professional alliances are starting to become extremely prosperous. I mean, we're talking about massive opulent wealth opportunities coming through. And you're also going to find that even romantic partnerships are starting to feel like they're living the high life. Finally, we also have a new moon in Taurus on the 19th of the month, this 7th house of partnerships, and it's all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments. And a lot of you who may be seeing somebody or have a potential partner in mind but are not in a place of officialhood yet, maybe deciding to seal the deal as we go into the window period following the end of the 19th of May, going up until about the beginnings of June. This is also a time where new partnerships, new best friendships, new business alliances also become more solid and more crystallized. And this can be a great opportunity for those of you who already have some kind of partnership or alliance in the world of business, or maybe something creative or recreational, to finally get a show on the road. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. Quick reminder, if you ever want to get a session with me, you just need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel grow. So what's going on when it comes to your May? May, I have been telling every sign, is all about blessings starting off with bangs. And a big part of that has to do with Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. Now, this is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, peer groups, as well as helpful third parties. And when Pluto goes retrograde, it's all about facing and eliminating vicious cycles, as well as anything that could be coming up from the past that is still holding you there. And that's because Pluto retrograde is all about bringing new blessings into our life, but those blessings, which are good for us, go to war with old problems that we haven't gotten rid of for whatever reason. And over the course of this month and going on into June, while Pluto is retrograde here, you're going to be seeing a big focus on clearing old business, decluttering to make room for the new ventures and new opportunities that are being bestowed upon you. New love, new abundance, new everything. But you've got to see where you've been letting sleeping dogs that don't belong to you or shouldn't be in the house lie anyway, right? New blessings and new opportunities that shake up and go to war with old problems that do need to be gone. Ask yourself when these things happen, where have old entanglements been getting in the way? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is in your 12th house of your past, privacy, your hidden zone, anything relating to old business or matters of the past. And full moons are all about culminations, transitions, and endings anyway. But this is exponentially amplified because a full moon lunar eclipse is a full moon on steroids. In fact, instead of having a 2-week window of influence like a normal full moon, this is going to be influencing you all the way up through the beginning of August. And with a full moon lunar eclipse in the 12th house, this can be a difficult transit to deal with because it eliminates things from our life that need to go that we might not feel like we have adequate resolution on. But we do. We all go through this at this point in time. Things that need to go that we don't feel emotionally ready to let go of, but we need to let go of in the highest interest of all concerned, including ourselves. That's what gets brought under the spotlight of this lunar eclipse. Whether these are old challenges, matters of personal history, family history, anything that is keeping us from being current, right? Living in the present, or being able to take on some kind of opportunity for advancement, growth, evolution in a love relationship, anything that is keeping us stuck or contained must be challenged by this eclipse and will be. Some of you may be finding that it is good things that trigger the sort of breakdown, breakthrough experience of an eclipse in the 12th house. We've got Mercury still retrograde from April in Taurus through the 14th of the month. And Taurus is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, anything relating to the teams that you're on, the teams that you serve with, as well as the populations you serve and what your services are. With Mercury retrograde, it's all about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts in this area of your life. Mercury retrograde in the 6th house can be very advantageous because if you feel like you have maybe been stuck in a situation or set down a bad path, or maybe you have been put in some kind of professional or financial commitment or situation that has been working against you, it's been more trouble than it's worth, Mercury retrograde is going to help upturn all of those arrangements so that you can get yourself out of it. This is also a time where old professional growth opportunities and old money will be getting brought back to you if you want to claim it. After the 14th, Mercury is direct here, which is all about speeding up developments, speeding up growth opportunities, and you may be finding that with Mercury speeding up through the 6th house, you're going to get quick turnarounds, moving up plans and hopes and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions as it relates to a professional or financial goal you are looking to meet. You may be speeding through a lot of work, your reputation is soaring, and you're finding that you are becoming not only very popular at the office and even with the higher ups, or maybe people in your field, people in the market you want to connect to, but your work is getting very, very well known, right? The product that you're putting out there for everybody, even if that is you, that is going to have its stock rising immensely through the back half of this month. We've got the sun in this part of your chart as well through the 21st of the month, which is all about attention, enhancement, support, and growth, which means more value to you and what you are putting out there. Again, a lot of you Sagittarius people are going to find you are getting offered opportunities to receive more money, better compensation, better benefits, a better deal as it relates to your job or your business, or again, the people that you serve. It's almost like a better business spell is getting cast on you because you're also going to find that you're getting a chance to work with the clients, the customers, and the colleagues that you know you are a match for versus maybe what has been drawn to you through other systems that have been put in place. And you're also going to notice an influx of new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement coming out of the blue from all kinds of different corners of your professional and financial world. And they won't be following any kind of script or propriety or proper channels, so you want to make sure that you're keeping an open mind. Sometimes these things show up when they want to show up. They don't have to stay on a script or follow any kind of script. We've got the sun moving on into Gemini, your 7th house of partnerships, after the 21st, and the sun will be here all the way up until the end of week 3 of June. And so the 7th house, right, that's our boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people we have our closest one-on-one involvements with. And with the sun in the 7th house, it's time to bring that attention, enhancement, support, and growth, and upgrades, and new resources, and opportunities for advancement on home here. This is going to be a month of blissful play, but also heightened productivity in your partnerships. You're going to be finding business partnerships are a lot more enterprising, ambitious, and lucrative. Romantic partnerships, you're going to get a chance to be kids again. You're going to get to work on developing that friendship that promotes longevity and freshness and a stronger bond. And you're also going to find that those of you who are single or available to new people, or maybe you're looking for a new romantic partner, or you're looking for new close friends, or you're looking for new business partnerships, are going to be finding people that connect to you on more of a close, intimate, inner child kind of level. There is going to be a lot more familiarity, a lot more closeness. And we're going to be just all the more connected because of what that authenticity promises, right? It's not about jumping through hoops. It's not about doing mating dances. It's not about, putting on displays or anything along those lines. Just real good, solid connections. We have Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, self-employment earnings, and anything relating to any kind of income that you might share in a business partnership or with a romantic partner, or anything that could be going on with maybe an investment that you have. So Mars in the 8th house is all about bringing in a great deal of wealth, a great deal of abundance really, really fast. But you've got to be careful with Mars in the 8th house, because you might be tempted to over-leverage your wins, or what you're allowed to do, what you're allowed to take, what you're allowed to borrow, what you're allowed to spend. And so self-control is going to be crucial. This can be a time of great success or a time of maybe some careless mistakes. And so you don't want to be over-aggressive. Don't be timid and cowardly either, but make sure that you have yourself under control, that you've mastered your impulses for this transit. This is also a time where romantic relationships, or new romantic opportunities for those of you who are single or available, are going into a very carnal and very wild, hot and steamy place. And it's going to be a time to satisfy some hungers and some thirsts that maybe have been starved or parched for some time. After the 20th of the month, we've got Mars moving on into Leo, your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your reach, your territory, influence, and your spiritual path and practice. And Mars in the 9th house is all about eliminating obstacles to your own growth and expansion, right? It's all about high energy, block busting, intense rousings of activity, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth for you. Now, this can be very helpful if you are looking to maybe eliminate some kind of blockade or contract or obstruction that has been standing in between you and what you desire, especially when it comes to professional advancement or travel opportunities or moves, getting yourself out there, getting yourself out of a bubble or a box you've been trapped in. And this is also going to be a time where you are meeting a lot of very strong allies that could be very good friends through all of these different kinds of spaces to help lift you or something that you truly care about up to a place of prestige. We've got Venus in Gemini through May 7th, and this is your 7th house of partnerships, right? And so Venus in the love area or in the partnership area is bringing the Venusian focus of love, favors, popularity, affections, and gifts, deepening bonds all the more, and bringing new enrichment to all of your commitments, as well as also changing a love language in a way where you might be realizing some kind of new love language with a partner or somebody new into something that is much more deeply fulfilling and enriching for each of you. After the 7th, Venus moves on into Cancer, which is that 8th house of shared resources, passive income, and intimacy. With Venus in the 8th house, this is a time of getting a lot more vulnerable and a lot more connected by removing armor in love, in relationships, right? Dropping roles, if you feel like maybe a relationship you've been in has been too focused on roles to the point where we've been kind of like reduced to just a function, this is going to be a time where stronger soul connections are going to be felt, right? Things that go way deeper than all of that superficial stuff. This is also going to be a time where you are getting a chance to connect on levels that you and a partner have been maybe afraid to connect on. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, this can also be a time where you're meeting somebody who is emotionally, spiritually, and psychologically mature enough and prepared enough to go to those places and keep their heads. We have Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th, which is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, the teams that you're on, as well as what you're serving, what you're getting back for serving, and who you're serving with. And Jupiter is infusing your work sector with the focus of expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs. And you're going to be finding that what you do for a living, what you're putting out there, or maybe a job you'd like to have, or a position that you are gunning for, is going to be evolving with you over the course of this next year, starting on the 16th. This is a long transit, goes well into 2024. And with Jupiter in the 6th house, you are going to be living it up. You may be even finding that the market that you're in or the company that you're working for is also having some kind of major transformation in terms of what it can pay you. All of you are getting raises over the course of this next year. Promotion opportunities are also on the table. But you're also going to find that these opportunities for great advancement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing are going to help you to also step out of maybe a certain level of training or responsibility or skill set that you've been in, helping you to evolve and expand your horizons as well. Finally, we have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 19th, which is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments, which is all about you getting a chance to take on a new long-term commitment or a new beginning in your work, in your schedule, in how you are earning a living for yourself. And with a new moon in the 6th house in the 2-week window period between the 19th and the end of week 1 of June, some of you may be taking on a new job or a new role or migrating into a position that has some serious growth potential that will show its virtues very, very quickly. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. Just a quick reminder that if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel grow. So what is going on when it comes to your May? May is all about blessings starting off with bangs. That's what I've been telling every single sign because, well, that's really just how it goes. And a lot of this is due in part to Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. This is your 2nd house of earned income, employment, your values, your valuables, and anything that is related to your resource security. With Pluto turning retrograde, there's this big focus on purging and breaking past cycles and new blessings, new riches, new goodness coming into your world, but going to war with old problems. And so you're going to find that over the course of this month and over the course of June, you're going to be in a weird spot sometimes because all kinds of new blessings are coming in, but immediately rattling the cages of old problematic elements and commitments and people that need to go. And you may be finding that throughout this whole process, this clearing of old business and decluttering, you are also having your entire financial and professional world transformed into something all the more lucrative and substantial. But you've got to be willing to participate in the purge. So whenever this happens and you're feeling kind of conflicted, just ask yourself, where have old entanglements been getting in the way the whole time? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 11th house of friendships and social networking, so anything to do with your platonic support system, the guys, the girls, any of your most lofty plans or ambitions or goals for this life. And a full moon is all about culminations, transitions, and endings. Well, a full moon lunar eclipse is a full moon that is exponentially amplified in its power and influence. A full moon, a normal one, usually only lasts about 2 weeks in its influence. A full moon lunar eclipse lasts 3 months in its influence, in its prime period. And so you're going to be feeling this very, very strongly, we all are, through the beginning of August. With a full moon lunar eclipse in your 11th house, this is a time of a major social life transition. And this can be a time where, we have the good getting better and the bad getting worse as far as social contacts are concerned. And a lot of you Capricorn people may be finding that, yes, you are doing some major social pruning during this period when it comes to maybe friends or contacts or people in your community that have always been a thorn in your side, or you're realizing are toxic connections, toxic relationships. Some of them get revealed during this period where it may have just kind of went over our heads before, and sometimes we find out that it's the time to finally cut the cord with people that maybe we've always realized were a problem. It's kind of a healthy mix when it comes to a full moon lunar eclipse. This is also a time where, while this is all going on, a personal goal or ambition that you have set to achieve this year will also be realized. And so it's kind of like you're moving on up, you're moving across the tracks, but you've also got to leave what belongs in the past, right, belongs back on that side where it belongs. We've got Mercury still retrograde from April in Taurus through the 14th of the month. And this is your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, as well as your relationships with your kids. And when we have Mercury retrograde in the 5th house, it's a time of reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts involving this area of your life. Mercury retrograde in the 5th house is a time for bringing back old opportunities, love languages, bonding activities, things that really did bring a great deal of joy and pleasure into our world. Whether this is maybe even reviving some kind of old artistic talent, maybe it's something personal that you just want to do for you and yours, maybe it's something that you want to monetize, an old business practice. A lot of you are going to find that relationships are becoming very nostalgic at this time, right? Going back on old trips and old excursions, getting back to a younger or earlier aspect of ourselves. And a lot of you are also going to find that you are getting a chance to bond inner child to inner child with your children all the more sweetly. For those of you single or available to new people, yes, old opportunities for love may also be coming back on the table. After the 14th, Mercury is direct here, bringing rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster fruitions. And so there is going to be a highly productive energy to all of your relationships in this part of your life. Things are becoming more mature, we're developing stronger intellectual rapport with our partners, with our kids, our creative collaborators, and you're also going to find that we are getting a chance to speed along the maturation of all of these connections as well. And so whether this has to do with, maybe maturing a project, getting something ready for debut, getting ready to finally make a relationship official, or even turn a page when it comes to, establishing a new bond or a new connection with one of our kids. Or for those of you looking to have kids, wanting to expand on your family, speeding up the developments towards a successful conception. We have the sun in this part of your chart as well through the 21st of the month. And so this is all about bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth to all of your relationships in your 5th house. And you're also going to find that your Partners or partner-to-bes, as well as your kids, creative collaborators, are going to be showering you with new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement with things that you share with them, but also things that you've been working on your own personal road. After the 21st, we have the Sun entering Gemini, which is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, anything relating to the teams that you're on, as well as the people that you serve with and the people that you serve. With the Sun in the 6th house, you are getting more value. You are getting more reward back for what you are giving to the world. And you may be finding that new resources, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement are starting to take over your work environments. You're getting much more popular. You may be even finding out about raises here and there, people wanting to incentivize your loyalty, or even new job opportunities that have all of this in tow. This is also going to be a big theme going up until the end of week 3 of June. So whatever you can grab, whatever you can get settled in, make it so. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month. This is your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one connections. So your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, and roommate, all the people you have your closest one-on-one connections to. And with Mars in the 7th house, it's about high energy, blockbusting, and an intense rousing of activity, eliminating obstacles, problem elements, and bringing competitive opportunities for growth to you, your partners, whether they be romantic partners or they be business partners or close friendships. Mars in the 7th house is all about cleaning house, especially when it comes to things that we have been trying to overcome as a united front. This could also be a time where a lot of you are going to notice that strong allies in business or just in friendship are going to be coming closer to you. You are creating a new sense of squad and a new team for yourself, both on and off the job. And you are also going to find that partnerships, even romantic partnerships and marriages, are becoming all the more industrious and ambitious as well. After the 20th of the month, we've got Mars moving on into Leo, your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, self-employment earnings, and anything that could be financial contributions or wealth earned through partnerships, business, or marital. With Mars in the 8th house, this is a time of great prosperity, but you need to be careful with Mars here, because that intensity of Mars can sometimes make us over-leverage things or take risks we don't need to take and should not take. Be careful not to borrow or spend just because you're allowed to borrow or spend. Make sure that when you are reinvesting in yourself or something that you care about, that you're keeping a level head and self-control when it comes to your impulses, because it can be very tempting to gamble with things you shouldn't gamble. However, Mars here is also very, very good for putting you in a position where you are also getting a chance to eliminate debts or anything that's been holding on to you from old business relating to your finances. This is also a time where things get a bit crazy when it comes to love and romance in the bedroom, because Mars in the 8th house, we go carnal, we go wild, and there may be a new erotic spark catching flame this month. We have Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month. This is that 6th house of work, reputation, and your schedule. And you may be finding that Venus, the planet of love, favors popularity and affection, is turning you into a rising star when it comes to your field. And a lot of you may be finding that not only are you getting quite popular on the job with colleagues and bosses, but also customers and business, however that applies to you. And you're also going to be getting offered new financial opportunities hand over fist internally, whatever internally means when it comes to your work or your organization. And if you work for yourself, you may be finding a product or a service that you're putting out there is really catching fire when it comes to the interests of the general populace. We have, after the 7th, Venus moving on into Cancer, into that 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections, where Venus will be for the rest of the month. And with Venus here, you're going to be noticing a lot of new enrichment coming in to all of your closest one-on-one connections. And this is going to be a time where gifts are also being given to you to further your own growth and your own cause, whether it's through your best friend or through a romantic partner or through a business business partner. Venus is also going to be bringing in new opportunities to transform the environments in which all of your partnerships are operating or performing or existing into ones that are much more luxurious, more comfortable, and easygoing. You're also going to find that for those of you who are single or available to new people, you're getting a chance to draw in people that are looking for the same romantic end game as you value-wise. We have Jupiter entering Taurus on May 16th. This is that 5th house of romance, your relationships with your kids, creativity, and recreation. Jupiter is going to be here from the 16th of this month on well into the beginnings of 2024. It's a long transit, and it's a damn good one. Because Jupiter in the 5th house is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs, blessing every one of these categories. Romance, your relationships with your kids, creativity, and recreational projects, anything that you are doing for your own personal enrichment. A lot of you may be finding that over the course of this next year, you get a chance to monetize a creative skill. Some of you may even become a little bit famous for it. Some of you may also find that there is a huge transformation that is taking place as it relates to a romantic relationship that is giving you a chance to maybe fulfill some kind of dream or bucket list ideal that you have with a partner. This is also one of the more traditional areas, astrologically speaking, where we see couples getting engaged or getting married, for those of you that have looked to do that with a relationship that you have. And it is also a beautiful sign of fertility for those of you who are looking to maybe expand on your family or even have a child within the next year. So take care and enjoy this. And a lot of you are also going to find, because Jupiter in the 5th house is, such a strong blessing, this is also a time where you are getting a chance to finally gain some recognition for what sets you apart in crowds where maybe, professionally or creatively or even spiritually or socially, you have been obscured. Finally, we have a new moon in this part of your chart taking place on May 19th. And this is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments. And a new moon in the 5th house of romance, right, is opening up a 2-week window period between the 19th and the end of week 1 of June for a lot of you single Capricorn people to start dating somebody that will desire the kind of romantic relationship that you want, or we might be starting a new chapter in love that takes us down a much more sweet and much more personally and spiritually fulfilling road in an existing relationship. And with the new moon in the 5th house, a lot of you are going to be finding that you and maybe a creative collaborator or maybe something that you've got going on with one of your kids is going to be receiving some kind of boon or gift to make it bigger than we thought we could make it. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. And just a quick reminder that if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what's going on when it comes to your May? Well, May is the month of blessings that start off with bangs. I've been telling that to every single sign. And a big part of that has to do with Pluto turning retrograde in your sign on May 1st. And so Pluto retrograde in your 1st house, this is basically going to affect all areas of your life at the same time, right? Whenever we have a planet in our sign, it affects our whole story. It affects our whole journey. It's the wild card experience. But luckily for you, it always happens to your advantage. Pluto retrograde is all about the elimination of vicious cycles and the purging of old negative repetitions. It's all about new blessings, new abundance, new security, as well as new pleasures coming into our life, but also those new blessings going to war with old problems that have been with us for far too long. And so there is going to be a point of some serious clashing, or points of serious clashing, I should say, going on consistently throughout this next month and a half while Pluto is retrograde here. And the focus is always on clearing of old business and decluttering to make room for the new blessings that are making room for themselves. However, it can be difficult, especially when conflicts arise, because, again, new blessings are going to war with old problems that can't stay if the new is going to find a home there. So if you find yourself in a space of conflict here, always remember to ask yourself, where have old entanglements to the problematic been getting in the way the whole time? We've got a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, raises, all of that good stuff. When we have a lunar eclipse, we are dealing with a full moon, which is still all about culminations, transitions, and endings, but a full moon that is exponentially amplified in its power and influence. And instead of just influencing for a normal 2 weeks like a regular old full moon, this is going to be a consistent story all the way up through the beginning of August of this year. A full moon lunar eclipse in the 10th house is all about graduation, promotions, jumps in status that are staggeringly high. And a lot of you may find that, yes, that may be how this next 3 months goes for you. But it is going to be taking you out of comfort zones that, or maybe even off of paths or roads or linear 5-year plans that you have set for your own growth financially or professionally. This is about leveling up, taking a warp pipe, skipping things, and getting a chance to be at a higher level of prestige than maybe you allotted for yourself at this point in time. You're going to have to work to keep up the pace, though. This will be a demanding shift over the course of the next 3 months. We have to be able to get smarter, work harder, and learn all of these new skill sets really freaking fast. But it is always worth it. When it comes to Mercury retrograde, because some people are going to ask about that, and don't worry, we always talk about it, Mercury is still retrograde from April, and is going to be retrograde up until the 14th of the month. This is in Taurus, which is your 4th house of home and family. Mercury retrograde is all about reviews, reversals, rearrangements, revisions, and potential restarts in this area of your life. In the 4th house of home and family, it still takes us into the past a little bit, because reviews, reversals, rearrangements, and revisions can apply to undoing and unmaking things that maybe never should have taken hold or have been brought into our space or our family or our world in the first place. This can be about amending the soil of the family tree, clearing away family curses and shadows, and even eliminating things that maybe you had no part in creating, but that maybe came to you or were passed down to you, right, through parents or grandparents or whatever. However, this is also going to be a very great time for material concerns, because Mercury retrograde in the 4th house is all about bringing back money and opportunities and even reestablishing connections with family members and close friends, people that you are on good terms with, that you had been distanced from or parted from or had somehow pushed away from you by influences that ultimately were maybe, again, imposing something on the family itself, whether it's from way, way, way back, you know, again, previous generations, or situations that maybe have come up in more recent history. It doesn't matter. Mercury retrograde in the 4th house is also about retrieving something from your own personal roots, whether it's from your childhood or earlier years in your adulthood, and reclaiming it and giving it a new life to enjoy in the present. Possibly an old dream, an aspiration, an old social connection. It's a very nostalgic, very sweet period as well. After the 14th, we've got Mercury direct in this part of your chart, which is all about rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to successful fruitions. With Mercury direct in the 4th house, this is a time for speeding up the acquisition of wealth as it relates to the entire household, right? Our household economy going through a massive boom, especially the back half of May. But we're also getting a chance to speed up the culmination and the fruition of any kind of project that we may have going on in the house, whether it's a household repair, something that we're looking to do with other family members, start a home-based business operation or grow it, or possibly speed up a move if that is what you'd like to do. We've got the sun here all the way up through the 21st of the month, bringing attention, enhancement, support, and growth, and new resources, upgrades, and updates, and opportunities for advancement through your home, through your family, or your closest friends, your chosen family, and even things, yes, coming back from your roots in the past. The sun in the 4th house is all about purging away shadows, right? And that's a big theme of this month if you haven't gotten that so far, especially shadows that came from relatives, other people, in-laws, the legacies of people in the past. But this is also going to be a time where, with the sun in the 4th house, you're getting a chance to transform your home and family life into your idyllic sanctuary for you and yours. And so make sure you are taking full advantage of that. After the 21st, the sun moves on into Gemini, which is your 5th house of romance, recreation, creativity, and your relationships with your kids. And when we have the sun in the 5th house, this is all about bringing in new bonding activities to create stronger friendships with romantic partners, whether they are your spouse, your boyfriend or girlfriend now, or maybe potential romantic partners to be, as well as creating stronger friendships and alliances in areas of your life that you go to for restoration, for creative exploration, for, maybe even deciding you want to take a special talent on the road with, somewhere where you go for that kind of recharge, as well as creating stronger friendships with your kids. Because the sun is all about reviving that inner child spark, being able to bond on that level and be able to be in that state of wholesome simplicity with everyone you hold dear, as well as attracting people into your lives. For those of you who are single or available or looking for new people, looking for this for, on your own path, you're going to be finding that crowding around, especially in the back half of this month. We have Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month, and this is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, anything to do with the services that you offer, as well as the teams that you serve on, and even your client and customer base. Essentially, your whole job description, right? Your field itself. When we have Mars in the 6th house, it's all about tearing down all the walls that need to be torn down so that you can expand and that you can grow. It's all about high energy, block busting, and intense rousing of activity and road opening for you, especially when it comes to advancing yourself, or maybe even pushing a cause you believe in, maybe giving yourself a chance to create a new professional road for yourself to go down where it's going to yield you a much higher income. Champions are coming to your cause to help you fight those battles and make it so. And you're also going to find new competitive opportunities coming your way for growth, especially after a lot of these obstacles are eliminated and the problem elements purged out. After the 20th of the month, Mars moves on into Leo, your 7th house of partnerships. So your closest one-on-one commitments. Boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of your closest one-on-one alliances and established connections. With Mars in the 7th house, this is a time of knocking down walls here, knocking down walls for trust, knocking down walls for intimacy, eliminating things that have been standing between us as a unit, as a couple, as an alliance, as a partnership, and some kind of aspiration that we have, as well as also bringing our closest friendships closer, establishing a new sense of squad, of the dream team in all of our affairs and all of our works. This is also going to be a time where those of you who maybe have been feeling blocked when it comes to having the best friend you desire, or the romantic relationship you desire, or the business partnership you desire, are going to have the road blocks, whether it's a distance block or a wall, whatever kind of block it is, torn down. We have Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month. This is that 5th house of romance, recreation, creativity, and your relationships with your kids. And we are seeing a lot of gifts being showered upon you and all involved in this part of your life, bringing all kinds of new enrichment to your most treasured pursuits and connections. And Venus, the planet of love, favors, popularity, and affection, is also going to be turning you into a bit of a love and attention magnet. So, you can actually put that to use however you want. After the 7th, we've got Venus moving on into Cancer, into your 6th house of work, reputation, your schedule, right? The services that you offer, and anything to do with the people that you serve. You are going to find that something that you're putting out there, something that you're a part of, your business itself, or a product or a service that you offer, or maybe the position that you have, the role that you take, is becoming quite famous, and you may be getting very, very well known, or something that you are working on picks up a lot of steam, and then by extension you become very well known as well. Because when we talk about gifts deepening bonds and new commitments and new enrichment coming through Venus here, you may be finding that your stock is rising as well as the very work that you put out there, and your reputation helping you soar to a greater sense of power and prestige, not only within your own talents and skills, but your influence upon others in your field, your workspace, and your community. We have Jupiter entering Taurus, that 4th house of home and family, on the 16th of the month. And this is all about expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs, bringing opportunities for great achievement that are prosperous, secure, and advancing. Jupiter is a gift that keeps on giving. And from the 16th of the month going all the way up until well into the beginnings of 2024, Jupiter is here souping up your home environment. This is a beautiful time, especially when it comes to the sense of moving on up. A lot of you are going to find that your household economy is going through an even bigger boom than what we've talked about earlier in this video, and it's going to stay consistent. A lot of you are going to find that it's not only your income that's on the rise, but partner income, business income. You may even find that the value of your own investments, retirement plans, or the property itself is going through a huge rise in value, profitability there. A lot of you may also be expanding on your family. This is one of the more traditional transits where people who are looking to have kids and expand on their family in that respect are going to have a chance to successfully do so over the course of this next year. And it is also one of the areas that is a huge blessing for those of you who are looking to maybe go into business for yourself or run a business out of the home. Jupiter in the 4th house is a great transit to get that underway. All of the backing you have is there. And this is also a time for a lot of you who've been thinking about moving house or maybe even purchasing your first home to be able to do so. And I'm also going to mention that unexpected wealth or unexpected financial opportunities will be coming to you through family matters, present and past, during this period as well. And again, this is a huge transit. It's for the rest of this year and going on into 2024. Finally, we have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 19th, which is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and new long-term commitments. And those of you who are looking to get out on the road, do some house hunting, move house, are going to have your chance to do just that and get something safe and secure by the time we get to the end of week 1 of June. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2023. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. And here's a cat deciding to storm the desk. This month is all about blessings that start off with bangs for everybody. And this is due in no small part to Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 1st. Now this is occurring in your 12th house of your past, privacy, hidden zone, secrets, and things going on behind the scenes. When Pluto goes retrograde, the message is very clear. It's all about the elimination of vicious cycles and repetitious problems, because blessings are coming into our life and going to war with old problems openly. This can be a period of clashes because it's all about clearing of old business and decluttering to make room for new ventures and spaces that are welcoming you. However, it can also bring up some cognitive dissonance this month and even a great deal of June, because Pluto retrograde, like I said, has blessings that are coming in, whether they are brand new blessings or blessings that were kept at bay, and going to open war with situations that we know are problematic, or things that are hurting us, or things that are holding us back. And it's important to keep that in mind. Ask yourself, whenever you find yourself coming up into an inner conflict about these things, where have old entanglements been getting in the way, and how, and for how long? We also have a full moon lunar eclipse at the beginning of the month in Scorpio on May 5th. This is your 9th house of higher education, government legal proceedings, travel, as well as culture, your territory, your influence, and your spiritual path and practice. A full moon lunar eclipse is a full moon exponentially amplified in its power and its influence. So it's all about culminations, transitions, and endings, as all full moons are, but instead of having a 2-week window of influence, it's actually got a 90-day window of influence, so taking us all the way up until the beginning of March. A full moon lunar eclipse in the 9th house is all about putting you in the fast lane to success, but it is going to essentially create a bit of a tower moment, right, with the tarot card, the tower, when it comes to what is familiar and what is comfortable to us. It's about getting us out of our box, getting us out of our bubble, and getting us out and about. This is a great time for the elimination of any kind of oppressive or maybe containing situations to finally go away, especially as it relates to contracts, legal agreements, things that maybe were imposed upon you by the powers that be, or maybe a situation going on with your career, a limitation with your technology or your resources, or even things going on with the laws of the land. This is also a great time for those of you who've been really hoping to make a big jump, whether it's a big jump in terms of your status, travel, get yourself out there to meet people, propagate your good name, or even go for a big move. However, this is going to, break down a lot of structures that you yourself, kind of like that Pluto retrograde, have maybe learned to live with or work around or overcompensate for. We've got Mercury retrograde still from April in Taurus through the 14th of the month. This is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, collaborations, as well as your peer group and helpful third parties. When we have Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house, it's a time of reviews, reversals, rearrangements, and revisions and potential restarts in this area of your life. You may find that projects or maybe lucrative opportunities, collaborations, and partnerships that were once put on hold for whatever reason are now ready to get back in the swing of things. And you may be finding it hard to work it in, but you can work it into what you've got going on presently and maybe even make more room. With Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house, these could be situations that were either blocked or deferred, finally getting a chance to, well, get down to business with you, whether the delays were due to, just bad timing, mismatches in terms of resources or availability for whatever partners or participants involved. This is, however, also a time where you could do a lot of undos, if you would like, when it comes to contracts, agreements, commitments, and pacts that you have made or co-created. Anything you would like to reverse or take back or unmake. This is your time, the first half of May. After the 14th, we've got Mercury direct here, speeding up developments, right? It's all about rapid developments, accelerated productivity, and quick turnarounds, moving up plans, hopes, and aspirations to faster, more successful fruitions. And so we're going to be cleaning house in a very big way, especially in the back half of this month. Mercury direct in the 3rd house is all about speeding up to a point where we can finally cash in or cash out whatever's going on with involvements professionally and personally that we're always going towards the fulfillment of some kind of promise, goal, or investment that we have made. This is also a time where you get a chance to speed up the beginnings of things that have been taking very long to get started, whether this is something an initiative you're trying to maybe get going in your family or in your neighborhood or at work or in your social life. Anything that has maybe fallen behind itself is going to be getting a powerful jolt and an accelerant this month. We've got the sun here as well, making sure that happens, especially through the 21st of the month, because the sun is all about attention, enhancement, support, and growth. And you may be finding that your peer group and your network are really showing up for you at this time. Friends, collaborators, trusted confidants, as well as people that have already proven themselves to you are going to be showering you with all kinds of new resources, hookups, upgrades, updates, and opportunities for advancement, whether they are providing the link themselves, bearing it to you, or even inviting you to go along for a ride or an adventure that they are on. After the 21st, the sun moves on into Gemini, which is your 4th house of home and family, the living situation, the domicile, your roots, and your home economy. And with the sun here, there is going to be an opportunity for fast gains as well, especially as it relates to a huge boost coming to your household economy. This could be an influx of resources coming from all kinds of different places at once, and you may also find that a household business operation is also going through its own renaissance. You may also find that the sun, however, is working hard on doing some serious purification work, because the sun does that as well, as it relates to any kind of old shadows or passed down problems, curses, or issues that maybe you inherited or took on once upon a time. These could be things passed down through family or things that somehow arrived in your living space over the years. We've got Mars in Cancer through the 20th of the month. And this is all about high energy, blockbusting, and an intense rousing of activity taking place in your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, and your relationships with your kids. With Mars in the 5th house, this is a time of knocking down walls, eliminating obstacles and problem elements that are keeping us from having the relationships we want to have with our romantic partners or our partners-to-be, or maybe preventing us from getting into a relationship at all, or preventing us from having the closeness or the relationship we want to have with our kids. This is also a time where blocks to the growth or maturation of a creative project or personal pursuit or even a personal business pursuit are also going to be coming under heavy fire and getting purged out of your space. After the 20th, we've got Mars entering Leo, which is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, the services you offer to the world, as well as the people that you serve and serve with. Mars in the 6th house, or Mars in any income area, such as houses 6, 2, or 10, in this case for you 6, promises a great influx of wealth and a huge boost to your earning power. However, you got to be careful the last 10 days of this month and going on into June. It's really easy to have our work-life balance get thrown out of whack, because Mars does promise great wealth, but through great labor. You may also find that things are getting a bit competitive when it comes to life at the office or maybe in your field or in your workspace. And while it's important to know how to compete sportingly, you want to make sure that you're not letting things get personal or too vicious. This is going to bring competitive opportunities for growth for you, so you definitely want to be putting yourself out there. But remember, it's how we communicate that is just as, if not more important most of the time, than what we are communicating. And, so make sure that you are conducting yourself with dignity and grace and class. We have Venus in Gemini through the 7th of the month, and this is that 4th house of home and family, right? Living situation, domicile, home-based business operations, and all that. With Venus in the 4th house, you are going to be finding that there are a lot of transformations taking place when it comes to your quality of life, your living situation, and how things are operating at home. This is a great time for a lot of you Piscean people who've been looking to make a move, or you've been looking to move on up when it comes to the household environment in general. You're also going to find that Venus is starting to transform the household economy in such a way where we can afford maybe more luxuries, more creature comforts, or finally start to have the dream home we desire. You may also find that some piece of property, or maybe something that you have collected or invested in, or a part of a home-based business operation, has matured and could be very profitable for you to consider leveraging or putting to work as well. After the 7th of the month, Venus moves on into your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, and your relationships with your kids. And with Venus here, this is all about bringing in new enrichment and new gifts and new bonds, deeper bonds to your most treasured pursuits and connections. With Venus in the 5th house, you are getting a chance to embark on a bit of a honeymoon experience with, whether you are in a relationship right now and you've been for a while, or this is with somebody new or a partner potential. Because when Venus goes into the 5th house, we do get to enjoy a bit of a honeymoon phase, put our feet up, go on some romantic adventures, and get some good play in. On the 16th, we have a huge shift going on with Jupiter entering Taurus, where he's going to be for the duration of this year and well into 2024. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, upward mobility, wealth, novelty, joy, and breakthroughs. And in your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, your peer group, collaborations, and all of that good stuff, you're going to be finding that it's time for you to finally leave and move on across the proverbial tracks. Any kind of situation where you could be hooked up, you are getting hooked up. Keep an open mind when it comes to all kinds of gifts that are coming to you through your people this year, because Jupiter is also going to be elevating them in terms of power and stature and influence. You may be finding that there are going to be numerous opportunities, especially in this first 3 months, for you to go on some kind of excursion that is going to create a whole new name for yourself, a whole new reputation for yourself, whether you are going and committing to some kind of a new professional track. Some of you may be getting into publishing or back into publishing, where it's going to take off very, very well. Hookups from friends and allies and helpful third parties are also going to be linking you into very strong wealth opportunities, money-making opportunities that last the test of time. And you are also going to find that you are getting a chance to expand your personal territory, or even plant your flag in a whole new territory, literally or figuratively speaking, as it relates to how you want to carry on your work and your life and your lifestyle on this earth. Finally, we have a new moon in this part of your chart as well on the 19th of the month, and this is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and long-term commitments. And in the 2 weeks following the 19th of the month, something that you are affiliated with, however loose or however close, is going to be going through its own huge boost. Now, this could be a project that you're working on. This could maybe be a network that you're in. This could be a work group that you participate in. Something that is lifting up everyone in the situation, is carrying you along with it. And you may also find with this new moon that it's not only a fresh start for whatever these initiatives are, whatever this project is, it's a new long-term commitment towards a new kind of prosperity. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.